Hello, hello, hello. Money Monday. Welcome to BDC. That's Black Diamond Club. Money Monday. I've got Lacey here with me, as we always do. We've got the drum full of names of Black Diamond Club members. We're giving away $300 this week. We always start the kitty at $300 and we add $100 per week for every week that there is no winner. So if you're brand new to Money Mondays, here's what we've got going on. We have the name of all 680 something Black Diamond Club members in this drum. We have some new names that we're going to be adding in this week. We're going to draw 3 names out tonight. And if you are with us live on the broadcast, you will be the winner of $300 of Lacey and I's hard-earned money.
Yep, I love it.
If you're not present, you lose.
And you have to come next week in case you win again, because that happens too.
Yeah, if you lost last week,
your name goes back in. We don't take it out and leave it out.
That will be amazing if somebody gets drawn
Back
again
to back.
this week and they're not
That
here.
happened to us at our club.
No, 2 weeks in a row you lose.
Oh yeah,
that would be
bad.
terrible.
That'd be terrible.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Terrible.
So you got to be present. Hey, do us a favor, a couple things. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're building up over 1,000 subscribers. We're super thankful to you. I get it. We're not Drake and Kylie Jenner. We're not going to have millions of subscribers, but we're here each and every week, every Monday, to help you to navigate what is happening in the world of finances. Now, the only reason we're doing this is because we are preemptively viewing this. You're already starting to see all of the recession-proof your business stuff coming out. Well, we're already on it. We've been on it for weeks. In fact, we've been on it for over a year.
Right.
We're putting out content now on social channels of me speaking 1 year ago.
Talking about what was coming.
Talking about what was coming.
Right.
And now it's here. Talking about the $5 a gallon gas. Talking about the recession. Talking about what was going to happen to the housing market. Well, that was a year ago and it's happening now. So now people are talking about it, but we are already preemptively here helping you to work on your business. So we're going to talk about what's going on in the world. Today we're going to talk about a few things that we think that you can be adding on. And if every week you're coming on, if you miss it live, you can still catch the recording. If you're just slowly chipping away, Lacey and I love this approach of Kaizen. Small incremental steps that you can be doing to preserve, protect, and adapt your business through these ever-changing financial times. That's what we're here to help you with on Money Mondays. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on the notifications. Click that little bell. You need a bell so you know when we go live. You should be getting your phone lit up. Your email should be lighting up saying, hey, man, Shawn and Lacey are live. It's Money Monday. It's your chance to win $300, and it's your chance to work on your business so that you can reach even more people, make an even bigger impact, and to create the lifestyle that you deserve. If you're not yet a member of Black Diamond Club, join us. You can get your name inside for the drawing. You can have a chance to win at least $300 every week,
which would be 3 months free
pay for
of your
3 months
BDC
of
membership.
BDC.
Like, that's a killer deal.
It's only $99, and you get not just on Money Mondays. You'll get us Mondays with podcast. You have us inside of our Facebook group. You get access to all kinds of cool things, all kinds of great benefits.
And most importantly, the community.
And the community, that's the real value there. Also, you get access to our events. We have our next event coming up November 3rd and 4th at the Fountain Blue in Miami Beach, Florida. It is BDC Marketing Matters. We're going to be talking about all things marketing in this ever-changing world, what you need to be doing to adapt your marketing. Marketing, what it does is it doesn't get you new clients.
Nope.
Marketing creates awareness about who you are and what you have to offer the world. We need to, in this world where people are thinking harder about where to spend their money, marketing becomes even more important.
Absolutely.
And the marketing game, the marketing platforms are ever changing. I saw somebody try to be very preemptive and rush out when the Elon Musk announcement came. And they were like, we're paying attention to this. That wasn't us because it's not really going to change from a business perspective. It's not going to do much to you guys. It's pretty cool.
We like the idea of it.
The idea. But we're not going to be modifying all of our business strategies and tactics.
We are looking at things that are directly impacting you and the people that you serve.
And there are a lot of them in the marketing world, which is why you want to be with us at the BDC Marketing Matters workshop. And we have amazing special guests lined up. And then,
As always.
and lastly, I want to invite everybody to join us. Patrick Bet David has an amazing book called Your Next 5 Moves. And we've been blessed. We've been super blessed in our lives. We managed to do incredibly well during the pandemic. We have managed to do incredibly well year to date, even as prices are creeping up. Our businesses are growing, from our Everbowl franchises that are opening up to Black Diamond Consulting, to our franchise of chiropractic offices, to Pringle Robotics, to all of the things that we're involved in. And people are always asking us, like, how do we do what you're doing? Well, we decided to put that together in a challenge, and it's called Our Last 5 Moves. Lacey and I literally sat down and mapped out with our team what we considered to be our biggest last 5 moves.
Big pivotal moves, yes.
So these could be your next 5 moves. That's why we did this, is if you are like, wow, I want to learn from you. If you don't, great. Hope you win $300. We'll have fun tonight. But if you're like, I want to learn from you, this is an opportunity. Go to www.ourlast5moves.com. And we are going to, here's the thing too, and we're going to talk about this later tonight. The challenge doesn't start until August 15th.
Right.
So this isn't like we're doing it tomorrow. You're jumping on the wait list. We already know this is going to sell out. Not fake sold out. We're going to be oversold on this because there are so many people that want to know our last 5 moves. So we're putting you on the wait list. We're going to have amazing giveaways and opportunities to join us at a deeper level throughout this challenge. You've got to be on the wait list, though.
Already has a couple hundred people.
Several hundred people are already on the wait list.
You're going to have to take action quickly.
And when you see the opportunity, you're going to jump on this. Tickets will go on sale July 15th.
Hey, I just want to say one thing, though, before I forget. If you're listening on YouTube right now and you can't figure out how to comment, because so many people have been telling us after the fact that they couldn't figure out how to comment. If you're in Black Diamond Club member group, I believe that James posted up a little how-to video, right, James? A little how-to video for you to be able to be in the chat, connect with the other individuals that are on here. They're talking. And then, of course, if your name gets drawn, you can go in the chat and say that you're here so that you can win the money.
I love seeing all of you on. Thank you so much.
So many of you.
Testing out your comments. I know we can see that.
So.
Yeah, well, it's a great way to test your comments, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many amazing people on, and that's why you're on here, right? Because you're taking the time to work on your business on a Monday evening. And it's not just for you. It's for your family. It's for your legacy. But most importantly, it's for the people that you serve. Lacey and I, we help service providers who believe that the thing that they do, that they have a passion for the thing that they do because they believe that the thing that they do can actually change the world.
Absolutely.
And so I love seeing all of you on here. So many people jumping on. Hey, do us a favor, as we ask every week, post this onto hit that little share button there, put it onto your social channels. Let everybody know that we are here every Monday at 8:30 Eastern, working away, trying to get you up to date. That way you don't have to watch all the negative, the evil vision, and
you don't have to go down a rabbit hole. You don't have to worry yourself to sleep. We're gonna sift through all of that for you.
We jumped in the sewer and we got dirty just to get this information for you.
It's true.
Here's what's coming up. Here's what we're watching right now. Here's what we're literally looking at. We're coming to the end of Q2. A lot of eyes on this. Are we going to get an official announcement for Recession?
We expect that will come in the first or second week.
If we get it, it would come.
If we get it,
there's a lot of indications that we might not. We have a couple of the metrics may not indicate a recession yet. Unemployment might be one, and production might be one, right? Because we have production super high. We're trying to produce, trying to catch up. So these metrics may not actually produce a recession. Our argument has been, look, even if you don't get the recession call in the first couple of weeks of July, we're in a recession right now.
Right.
Something drastic needs to happen and for things to radically change. I don't usually do this too. You know this full well. And people are going to really take this statement completely wrong. I honestly don't care. So I'm just going to tell you this. One thing I found very interesting over the weekend that we are watching. We had the Supreme Court overturn the Roe versus Wade decision.
Right.
Now, this is not what you're not going to get me saying on a soapbox what I think about the decision. You're not going to get that. Here's what I found interesting, though, is that, we had all of this anticipation for the night of rage. And we really didn't get that. I was telling somebody today, and again, here comes the controversy, and it's not that controversial, but people are going to have comments. And go ahead, feel free to comment. I was telling somebody too the other day, I prefer you just say things to my face than say it behind my back. Because you can put you can take your take on this in the comments page. It's totally fine. People were far more concerned about George Floyd than they were Roe versus Wade as far as their outrage was concerned. The reaction.
Right.
And I found that very interesting. Like, I seriously thought, like, when we got the news of the overturning, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to compound the problem, right? We're going to have a big problem.
We were out and about. We were a little
worried.
We were
in St. Louis.
We were a little worried about, like, because of all the things that they were posting that they were going to do.
Yeah.
That there was going to be some things that went down, and it didn't, though.
So here's what I learned. We're in a very, very interesting and unpredictable time.
Right.
It's very interesting.
That's the point.
And unpredictable because you never know what will be the thing that can tip this. Now, the reason why I'm also saying that is because politically, the Democrats, I don't think, got the push that they really needed. Now, this is going to be a key talking issue in this upcoming election, but we also reposted from a year ago me talking about 1 year ago that this election that is just around the corner, it is months away, that this election is going to be the single most contentious election in the history of the United States. That's my prediction, and there is no president on the ballot. Man, is that interesting. Man, is that interesting. And the Democrats are looking for talking points that are not going to be the economy. So they got Roe versus Wade. That will be a talking point. I don't know if they got the hype because we also are going to talk about consumer sentiment.
Yep.
Dipping even lower. You know, it bottomed out at 50.
Very, very low.
All-time low. And it seems to be that this is a giant concern of people, the economy. The economy seems to be weighing foremost on people's minds. Now, this is not a political statement. This is about you, because what that means is that for your business, people aren't thinking about your financial services. People aren't thinking about getting their hair cut and colored and the best options. People aren't thinking about their health and wellness and hyperbaric chamber therapies. People are worried about their pocketbook, their finances, paying the bills, their debt. They're worried about these things, first and foremost, to the point where a seemingly inflammatory, monumental, historic event in our country went relatively unprovoked, unprotest. It just happened
because of the worry on people's minds.
Because, in my opinion, yes.
That's where we're going with what Shawn is talking about. And so for those of you that haven't heard the terminology consumer sentiment, that's exactly what it is. It's measuring how customers feel about their pocketbooks and the economy in that moment. So 50 is a very low score. 50 is a very low score. And so that's an indicator for us what people are thinking about all the time. So I think now that you just bridge the gap of why that night of rage potentially didn't happen in the way that they thought it would.
So another thing that we're watching as we close out Q2, earnings reports from businesses that are going to be reporting, corporations, and we are hearing talks now of a profit recession. What does that mean?
Yes.
Well, that means that profits may be lower than expectations. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means when we get an earnings report and we have lower profits than expected, this can cause the investment world, the investors that hold those shares to pull out, to panic, to be like, oh my gosh. We've already seen this happen.
Stock market to poof.
Right, and we've seen this happen with, for example, with Netflix.
Right.
Now Netflix. I was reading this article today too. Very interesting that Netflix is hopeful that they will be able to monetize. And I wonder what all of the Netflix users think about them potentially adding ads. Can you imagine? You're like watching Peaky Blinders. Now it's got commercials in it. Right? But that would bring a lot of money and revenue to Netflix.
Yes.
And the investors are very hopeful that they can figure this out quickly. But I wonder what the users, like, I'm paying a monthly fee. Yeah. And now I've got commercials in the middle of my shows that, right, I didn't. But this is what we're watching is if we see poor earnings, a profit recession, we could then see yet another dip. In the stock market, which is already going down. Another interesting thought. We always have to make a disclaimer. We are not CPAs. We are not financial advisors. And I like this disclaimer. We are not heavily invested in the market. So I got that too the other day. Like, Shawn, don't tell people to buy stocks. No, I'm not telling you to buy stocks because I wouldn't tell you to do something we're not doing. But I do find this really, really interesting that people watching the market and that like the market, like to invest in the market. The S&P 500, for example, there's a lot of value and bargains in there. If you're subscribing to this, I like these companies. I had a guy tell me that one of the strategies he was going to do is that he was going to invest some money into the S&P 500. He's going to loan money to a company, and that the company would invest in the S&P 500. He was hopeful that the S&P 500 would go up enough over time that he would recover his initial money. Basically, it would have to double, right? So once it had performed a double, then at that point, he would pull out his original money, and then he would just forget about it and leave it for his grandchildren. He said that he had done this many years ago during a recession, during a drop for his children. And he had amassed quite a large sum of money. And he was like, this might be an opportunity to do it again.
But again, it's that long-term game.
Yeah,
That's
super
what we always
long-term
say.
game.
You got to have to understand your timing and risk tolerance. He was like, long-term game. It's for my grandchildren.
Yeah, basically, I put some money in there. I get
And
my
I
money
just
back
set
out
it
of
and
it, and then I
forget it.
forget
Yeah.
that it even exists.
Right.
And my grandkids are like, holy smokes, Grandpa left us all this money, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Other thing we're watching is 4th of July is coming up. And you're telling me, well, first of all, I remember that a while back. It's hard to talk about money and it not seem like a knock on the administration, but I remember was it a year ago? Apparently, 4th of July was like 67 cents
No,
cheaper.
it says like 19 cents or something.
19 cents cheaper.
ridiculous.
Well, we're going to be more
Hot
expensive
dogs.
this year.
They actually are saying that it's one of the most expensive 4th of Julys we've seen in like 40 years. I mean, 40 years. So we're anticipating that everything is going to be super pricey. The one thing that I'm reading, though, is that gas prices have dropped a little bit.
Gas prices have gone down a
So
little bit.
if you're traveling
Good news.
for 4th of July, average gas price was $5 a gallon. I think it's now at $4.90. And they do expect it to go down a little bit more before the 4th. So if you're going to travel, make sure you fill up while those gas prices are low.
But for some reason, the airlines still are very high.
Yeah, charging a ton of money. Yep.
It's very expensive. Well, in speaking of oil, another thing that we're watching is Warren Buffett making some big moves. I think one of these is very interesting. Warren Buffett has acquired another $500 million of Occidental Petroleum. He's in effect doubling down on his energy bet. Again, man, I if you know me, I wouldn't care who's in the administration. So I would just say that whoever's in the administration would always seem like. But this is a clear indicator from the financial world. One of the smartest financial people in the business. He's not betting on this green energy deal.
No.
He's not betting on that. He's actually betting against it and laying some heavy money on Occidental Petroleum. He bought an additional 9.5 million shares. 9.5 million shares. Listen to this real carefully. Do the math in your head. Wow. He bought an additional 9.5 million shares, bringing his total holdings in Occidental to 152 million shares. So he's heavy into this oil. Now, people that know me on the private side, we do love that. I love that play. I am not Warren Buffett. Do not listen to me. But when I was telling you, hey, we're not in stocks. Yeah, I love the oil. I love the oil and gas industry. I love that play. And again, success leaves clues.
Yes.
Right. So for any of you guys, like where are you investing? Well, I'm not going to tell you, but I kind of did. So oil and gas, big double down there.
Yep.
So like, hey, are gas prices going to like come all the way back to like $1.99?
Probably not for a long time.
Probably not for a long time.
Probably not for a long time.
Next, owning a home has now become more expensive than renting. This is one of the things I talk to a lot of people.
People used to buy because they would say, I could buy that home and my mortgage would be cheaper than the rent that I'm paying, and I would have appreciating asset.
I've told several people this. I don't think people have a really good handle. I know James, we were super proud, a little less than a year ago, bought his own home. And James was saying, man, am I glad I did that at that time.
James locked in a killer rate.
Killer
Let's
rate.
just say that.
Here's what I think that most people do not appreciate, especially when we're talking. I'm not talking about you buying a home. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about what most people don't appreciate when it comes to their business and understanding like what is happening, like what's happening in the world. You don't really appreciate what a 1 point interest rate jump, not a basis point, but a point, like a full point. What that does on the interest rate, what it does to your payment.
Right.
2 points. We're in the fives.
Especially over a 30-year mortgage.
Right. We're in the fives. We're looking at pushing into the sixes. And
soon.
so home ownership today is 31% more expensive than renting nationally.
Yes.
So home ownership today is 31% more expensive than renting nationally. With demand shifting in the market and the market for home purchases cooling, prices come down, interest rates going up. Home builders are actually now moving more towards investments, and like private equity companies selling off to these, which is not necessarily a really good thing for our economy, because what they're doing is they're buying it as an investment, and then they're renting it. And so what's happening is that now, and I get it, because I can have a discussion on a Monday just solely about this, because the new way of getting rich actually does not necessarily imply you buying a home that you live in.
Right.
But I do believe that once you have climbed that mountain of wealth, it does imply leveraging real estate for tax advantages and cash flow. The new way of getting rich. It doesn't mean that you live in an owned home, but it probably does mean that you have homes that you own that you rent out. Now, this is real interesting, because that formula seems to be playing out in the financial world, but the world of investment housing is being gobbled up by really wealthy people, which then artificially maintains this market.
I was going to say, which keeps those prices high. I mean, the prices for homes are coming down. Redfin, they actually reported that 1 in 5 homeowners are dropping the price point of the home, but that's also because interest rates are going up. And so there has to be this leveling out, because they can't just keep rising and raising both, because then the only people that would be able to afford it is people that are looking for investment properties.
Well, this is coupled with another thing that we're looking at. Home affordability has now reached, it has passed the inflection point where now affordability has hit a 15-year low. So how affordable is it for you, or better yet, your clients, to be purchasing a home?
Interesting.
All-time low. They are not affordable. What that means, they're not saying like, wow, why no, they are not. Home ownership is now, because of the interest rates, tipped into a 15-year low of affordability. What that means is that if people cannot afford homes, I have to rent. But rent prices are also
going up
at an all-time high.
Yes.
This is not, so it's not like, wow, that makes, like, no. So because the investment world who's holding these properties, people have to move into rentals, is able to command a higher fee. And so now rent prices have gone up.
This is what your clients are feeling, right?
Miami,
yes,
40%. In Miami, a 40% increase in rent prices year on year.
That's
40%. People's rents, we're seeing in New York, rent control, which means they can't raise the price, now being voted on to give them the ability to raise the rents in rent-controlled
people will
housing.
be out of a home.
This is a very tenuous situation that a lot of people are in. I love this stat though that
this
you
is
brought.
all in the last week, y'all. That
This is this week's.
Remember we do this every Monday, so this is this week's. Yeah.
I do love this, and this would be an interesting thing. And I don't know how sharkish people want to get with their sales, but you found this very interesting article. Nearly 40% of the homes in the United States have no mortgage at all. I like that.
Why do you like that? Because
Well,
that means
there's
that
a lot
people
of equity out there.
that means I was going to say that means there's a lot of equity out there. People, if they really needed to, they could borrow against their home.
Right.
But we did say that money is going to be harder and harder to get, that the banks are going to tighten up on lending. So there's also that's balance that's going to be at play. But 40% is a very high number for people to not have a mortgage.
Well,
and so even if they are middle class, if they don't have a mortgage on their home and they have all of this equity, they may not be squeezed as tight worrying about where they're spending their money.
Well, here's the thing: is it's debt equity unless you're able to leverage it, right?
True.
So you've got to get the money out of the home, and so when you do that, at that point, you've refinanced, and then there would be a mortgage on it.
Yes.
So it's an interesting thing.
And you're going to do it at the higher.
Here's the
rate.
drawback. Here's the negative. That also means that there's a lot of investment homes that are owned by private equity, right? That they have these homes and they're completely paid off and they're cash flowing for them. But yes, interesting stat.
Very interesting. We'll keep an eye on it, see what people are doing.
Another piece of, I guess, good or bad news. Goldman Sachs has raised its recession probability odds to 30%. A lot of people would say that it's higher. I would say it's way higher than that. Goldman Sachs with a far more conservative estimate, but it's raising its odds. So it didn't think it was that probable. Now it's giving a 30% chance that we're going to go into recession.
And they said they think it's going to be sooner than they originally anticipated.
Yep. And that the Fed is going to be pressed into making more and more corrections. And I think that that's a really scary thing. And the other thing that they're very concerned about is rising energy costs, right? So that could be another thing that can trigger this off as well. We talked earlier, consumer sentiment hit an all-time low in June. We had already had the low. Now we've dipped it out. We plateaued it. Hopefully in next month, we don't go even further. We're at an all-time low. Basically, people just feel really crappy, really gloomy about the forecast for this United States country's economy. What that does, though, for you is that it makes it very difficult for you to sell, right? I know all these marketing and selling courses. Look, you could be the best salesperson in the world, but you can't get blood from a rock. And when people are really gloomy, when people are very negative in their mindset relative to any spending of any kind, they're going to consider other spending options far ahead of whatever it is you're selling, unless you're selling life and death type things.
That's why we say lead with helping people first. I mean, in the state of the world right now and what's happening in the United States, people need help. And that's why we talk to you about the benevolence campaigns. That's why we talk to you about buying people's gas. I mean, if you really want to go crazy, you could do something and buy somebody's month of rent. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things you could do out there to help people, right? But you lead with that, then your service sells itself, honestly.
So let's dive into what we should be doing. This week in Black Diamond Club, we're talking about risk reversal.
Yes.
Critical. Want to make this the topic of Money Mondays. If you're in Black Diamond Club, I saw a lot of people saying, hey, I just listened to the podcast. Put out a podcast every Monday with our thoughts on how to build your business. It's not always tied into the economy. It's just things that we do. This week, it was tied in. And I think risk reversal is something that is very important. Last week, we talked about helping people.
Yep.
It's just not, last week we helped people. This week, we're doing a risk reversal.
I'm going to help you.
It is, we need to help people for a long time.
Yeah.
So you had talked about benevolence. There's videos coming out. I said this. I called it. There's videos coming out. People buying people's grocery bill.
Yes.
Right. So they're in the grocery line, walk up. I saw one guy, he was saying like, hey, will you pay for my guru drink? And if the person said yes, then he would pay for their bill.
Entire bill.
Right.
Yes, I've seen
and they were
that.
like, yeah, go ahead. Just put it on my thing. And they're like, hey, I'm going to help you out. Now you can tell what people are buying. People that are buying baby food and diapers and that need help. That's a very interesting way to help people. Paying for people's gas, way to help people. We've also said acts of service, helping people, giving people a break. We have we live in a world right now that's understaffed.
Yes.
Helping people. That's right now that's the premium. Helping people. Now let's add on to this. In a world that gets tight economically, part of my fear about discussing these things is that I'm conscious of the fact that we're ahead. Like I'm conscious. So like people will misuse these things.
Right.
It's not a gimmick. So helping people is not a gimmick. It's hard because when we explain it to people and we're ahead of it, people are like, that's a gimmick. When you're in it, then it doesn't seem gimmicky because you're looking around and you're like, everybody needs help.
Yes.
When we talk about risk reversal, when we're ahead of it, it seems like a gimmick. It is not a gimmick. It is not a gimmick. It is meant to help people who are stuck on the sidelines.
Give them an opportunity. Yeah.
Yes. So a couple of things. We would do a risk reversal on people who are stuck on the sidelines. Not necessarily to your existing clientele. And not necessarily, and one of the things I said, it doesn't work really well in the up market.
Right.
Unless it is done in a preemptive move, you brought this up today, to move somebody.
Yes.
You already go to this up market provider. I would like for you to come to me. I will put a risk reversal out to make the move possible.
It's utilized more as incentivizing. Right.
A move.
It's a move. It's incentivizing
like
a move from one place to another versus trying to squash or create more trust and credibility.
Right. Because in the up market, people aren't sitting around saying, well, if there was some risk reversal, I would do it. Because
some guarantee I would do it.
Because they have the money.
Yeah, they have the money.
Whatever.
They're not worried about that.
And I also pointed out, like, there's no risk reversal on Lamborghinis and Ferraris. There's no risk reversal on Chanel. There's no risk reversal on Hermes. It's like
try it for 30 days and return it. It just doesn't work.
You were telling me there was some makeup that let you try it for a week or something.
For 14 days.
14 days. And if you didn't like it, you could return it. Right? You're not seeing that on the high end, on the up market.
Right.
Okay. So risk reversal. What risk reversal does is that it takes the risk off of your prospects and clients and places it largely on you.
Right.
Now, when we say risk reversal, what we typically hear from people is, okay, money
Money
back
back
guarantee.
guarantee. Right.
Then we run into, but I can't guarantee anything, especially in the service world. So tonight, we want to dispel that and make sure we get super clear. Risk reversal is not only money back guarantee. So we can do a lot of things to reduce the risk on the prospect. And it can go from things I guarantee. It can go from things I do. It could go from ease. A lot of things, maybe if you're in healthcare, getting my records. A lot of people won't want to go to somebody new because my records are with you. How do I get all my records to the new person? So you can say, listen, I will take care of all of that. You won't even have to fill out any paperwork. That, my friends, is a form of risk reversal.
Right.
I'm not going to make you do extra work. I'm not going to make you jump through a lot of hoops.
I'm not going to put you in positions that you feel uncomfortable in. There's no risk for you. You don't have to worry.
You just have to show up here and we can make it happen.
Right.
But one of the things that I was thinking in the mid-market, we spoke about today in BDC, is I do think if you are one of those, especially if you're not in BDC, a whole tribe of people that watch this video that are not in BDC because they don't like us. They just like our stuff, I guess. I haven't figured that out yet. But if you are one of those people, you have not yet made the move to the up market. Lacey and I seriously stay up at night worried about you, right? Because it's your own market. The people who pay you so that you can pay your bills, those people are getting squeezed. So ultimately, they stop dropping out. I'm seeing it in the groups of consultants and coaches that cater to the mid-market. Their clients are beginning to report that their clientele is beginning to dwindle and drop off.
Right.
So those of you, let us help you right here on YouTube on Money Mondays for free. Ready? I was thinking that you could offer them the opportunity to experience whatever it is that you do for little or no cost for a brief period of time with a couple caveats.
Yeah.
Number one, this would have to be marketed effectively. This would not become an office policy. In fact, I spoke to several of my private clients today about this. I recommended on the podcast 60-day ramp-up period where I would be announcing it. I might say something like, listen, I'm going to allow 10 of you to come and experience a teeth whitening and checkup for free.
Right.
If during the checkup, and I probably wouldn't use the word free, I'd say maybe for $10.
Yeah.
For $10. If during the checkup, we discover that you want to continue on with me and receive all of the various things that I offer here in my place of business, then I will put you on a program and you will have a ramp up rate, or you would have the $10 applied rate, or you would even maybe get to have the rest of that month with no charge and then a catch up rate behind it if I can earn your business. Now, I would do this naturally during 2 periods of time. Timing is everything. One, I would look to do this towards the end of the summer.
Right.
Right. Summers are usually slow in the service world because people go on vacation.
Right.
And I would probably time it right towards going back to school time because people are getting back in their routine. I would figure out a way that we could do this, and we debuted this in a very transparent laboratory type way in Black Diamond Club. Not because we had to, because
we wanted to.
Well, and also to look logistically, we sold our $25,000 Scotland Mastermind that happens in June of 2023 to 20 people. Sold that out in less than a day. You and I cannot take any more VIP one-on-one coaching clients. Ask our coaching clients. It's almost impossible to get on our schedule. We don't have room to put in Quest 7, our highest level of engagement. It's completely full. We don't have room to put anybody, but we thought we want to show you what a risk reversal looks like. So here's what we did. We took 5 people by application. That's not a lot. They didn't say 50 people. We took 5 people by application, and we allowed them to experience coaching. No, not with us because we're full, but with 2 of our best Black Diamond Club coaches. So we assigned Amanda Affelblatt, Christine Zapata, who are also both Quest 7 members. So they're engaged with us at the highest level, running big businesses, doing big numbers, and they would be your coach. And not only that, we decided that we would collectively work, our entire BDC team, with those individuals, giving our guidance from the sidelines through the coaches. And we would only charge them $500 a month for the first 10 months. That takes most of the onus off of them because
Number one, the price point is low.
Price point is low.
But number two, they know that they have the backing of a very large team to help them through, which also helps them feel like the risk is reduced.
So all they have to do is execute.
Yes.
But then after the 10 months, so this is where it's important. But then it wasn't, oh, I don't want a discount, Shawn. Okay. But then after the 10 months, then we are going to take 10% off the top line. So we have 10 months to build our foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Once the foundation is built, we know that we're going to be increasing their top line revenue. Then we're going to take 10% off the top line until such point that we have made a grand total of $100,000.
Right.
Well, if we took 10% and we made $100,000, then you, whoever's in this, just made $1 million. By the way, they're all spots are spoken for. Yeah. They were spoken for in half a day.
Yeah. And what's so great about it is we're taking the risk on the front side. That's what the risk reversal is. We are taking almost all of the risk on the front side for the potential on the back side, right? And so they're able to feel comfortable because they know that it's a low barrier way to get in. Low risk, it's diluted, it's mitigated, and we only win if they win. That makes them feel like that's the risk reversal. We only win if they win, so we have an inherent desire to get them to win.
Well, we actually sat down and thought, what would be the value? And if you're in BDC, we went through this exercise where we talked about this. The monetary value, if we could pull this off. If I could get you to make an additional $1 million, I don't know what the time frame is, as fast as you possibly can. But if I can add $1 million into your top line, into your business, depending on how you run your business, I don't know what that shakes out to be on your bottom line. That's up to you. I don't control your expenses. But if I can add $1 million, what would that be worth to me? I was like, well, at least 10%,
yeah,
$100,000. So I'd want to be paid $100,000 to make you $1 million. And so then we thought, okay, well, but most of those people, everybody wants an extra $1 million, but that doesn't mean you have $100,000 in your bank.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, I'll just write you a check. So we thought, well, we need to have a risk reversal for these people. Now, here's the trick. For all of you watching, you need to be thinking about, I need to create a risk reversal. I need to create a risk reversal for my clientele. I need to take, and look, again, it's not for your upmarket. It's not for your elite clients. It's for the mid-market. It's for the people who got trapped in the squeeze of the recession. Can you figure out a way?
They're feeling it, but they're committed. They're committed to doing the work with you.
So can we figure out a way to take that risk off of them? Mm-hmm. Because what you do is so great. You know, I always hear all of our BDC members, like, if people work with me, they experience an increase in their productivity, increase in their work life, increase in their private life, all of these things. Well, if that's true, what is the actual value of that? What is the value that they receive by working with you? And then what is the amount that you would take if you had mitigated their risk? It might, in some cases, be more than you would actually take if they just paid you out of pocket because you assumed the risk.
It is. Exactly. But again, like we said, think this through. Don't go crazy. Don't just drop this tomorrow into your business. Make sure that you really think it through about how you're going to create this process. Take time to market it so that you get the right people, the 60 days, like we talked about at the beginning of this show, 60 days. And then you're going to launch it so that it's done right. And the people that actually apply to do this with you are committed and they stay, they execute, and they get the results.
We need the right people doing this.
That's the most
because you said
thing.
They were committed.
They were committed.
They're not just there for a freebie.
Right.
They're there because they recognize the value.
Yeah.
They just weren't in a position to execute on the value. That's exactly what we do. We have plenty of private clients, but we also realized there were so many of our BDC members who just weren't in a position to execute on fees that we charge, even in our coaches. So we created the risk reversal for them to make sure that they were able to do that, because we are confident, we know that what we do works, but we wanted to give them the opportunity to experience that. And I will also say, we expressly said in our application process, this was for people who heard what we were saying, but for whatever reason, had not implemented.
Right.
They, for whatever reason, were stuck on the sidelines.
They were scared. They felt like it was too risky.
All of the stuff.
But wanted to take action and just didn't.
So we reached our hand out to them. We took the risk away. We said, grab our hand. We're going to help you to make an extra $1 million. That's how much we believe. That's how much we know. But I that's the thing.
But you can do it for your business
I want you to know.
Every business model has some sort of ability to create a risk reversal. So we want you to do that. And the great thing is you get to help people that really need it.
Tons of people in your community who probably know about you, have seen your stuff on social media, want to work with you, but for whatever reason, they just haven't taken that jump. This week, we're talking about, how do I lower that barrier? Not lower the price. That's what everybody does.
Yes. the barrier,
The
and
barrier.
actually maybe get more on the back.
And get more on the,
Yeah.
and actually make more money.
I
That's
gotta
what we're
say
talking
one
about.
last thing. You get these people results. I mean, they're going to be raving fans. Imagine what
Absolutely.
that alone would do for your
Well,
business.
everything
to
else
have
we teach.
5 or 10 raving fans talking about how you help them.
Well, imagine doing some sort of a referral opportunity with one of these people who tells a story about how in a difficult moment of their life, you showed up.
Yeah.
And that you made this possible, right? Like, yes, of course, these people become some of your best testimonials or best clients. In fact, if you wanted, we're not doing this, but if you wanted, you could document their journey.
Yeah.
You could ask them as part of this risk reversal process. I want you to tell your story to the world. We're not going to play it out live, but I want to have it documented and recorded so I can share your story later about that time that little old me reached my hand out, helped little old you, but together we came together and we made a big impact. That's what risk reversal is all about. Not just empty bottle money back guarantee. Let's get over that. We don't want empty bottle money back guarantee. We don't, it's not just giving people their money back.
That's right. Yep.
All right. Dropping bombs. We've got new names to add to the pot. Let's get some money rolling over here. I got a bunch of names. I want to read these out because I want to express some gratitude. Lindley Rose, you're coming in, going right in the mix here.
Oh.
I got it.
You got it? I thought it went off the table.
Lindley Rose is in.
Don't worry, Lindley, we got you.
Susie Schulman. Susie joined up this week. She's getting in just in time to get in on the drawing. We have also Isaac Rice. Is that right?
Reese, maybe? Rice?
Isaac,
you'll have to tell us.
our Tats superstar. Lindsay Langendorf.
Yep.
Jumping in,
Whoop,
getting
whoop.
in on that. We got to give this a good stir because they're all going to be up there. And Ilya Perry, she's back. Glad to see Ilya Perry back. Took us a little brief vacation there from us.
So happy to have you back.
Work on some stuff. Work on some mindset.
Yes,
happy to
that's
have her
James
back.
with the sounds.
James rocking the sweet sound
got
effects.
his sweet sound effects over there.
I'm
He's
gonna
very
give this
excited.
A super
Do
stir.
it.
So today,
I'm gonna stir.
we just wanted to get them all shifted up so you could stir them.
James
so
gonna
today,
come.
normally James would. Oh, James is drawing, right?
he's
yeah,
drawing.
James is drawing.
Yeah, he's
We
drawing.
decided that. So
Hold
let's
on.
get this all. Let's get it nice and.
And I gotta give it some good spins.
Yeah, get them like nice and mixed.
He's gonna dig in there anyway.
Yes.
Oh wait, somebody came out.
Somebody fell out.
Somebody wanted
no,
to
that's not a
win.
winner yet.
That
It's gotta come
Somebody really
right off
wants
of
to
James's hand.
All right.
All right, actually, let's do this, James. Just draw them and put 3 of them right here. All right. We'll announce
Just
them in the
because-
order that you draw them. Okay, we'll put that one there.
Put this
That's
one
gonna
down.
Be number 1.
That's number 1. Ooh.
Number 2. Okay. And number 3. Number 3.
So we're gonna
Okay.
now remember, we're gonna announce your name. James is going back over to his sound effects station. Thanks, James.
And you have 30 seconds,
And you're gonna
everybody.
have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. You got 30
30
seconds to answer.
seconds.
We might have a winner coming in on number 1. I
Yep.
feel it. I feel it. We might have a winner on
I know,
number
I
1.
feel like number
Just
1
feel
might
this
be
one
it.
could
Okay, let
be
me
it.
get.
How many
because-
people do we have on? 166 people on. 680 names inside of the drum. And the first name up. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds on the clock.
Bryant Science from Texas. Let's go, Bryant.
Brian shows up to so many things.
Bryant's on so many things. I'm going to be shocked if he's not here.
I would be shocked.
I'm going to
if
be
he wasn't
shocked.
Here.
I'm going to be absolutely stunned if Brian doesn't call us, like put
We
there.
got
You
30
just got to comment
seconds.
there, Bryant. We're watching the screen. We got people commenting on, but it is not
Wow,
Bryant.
I am not seeing Bryant.
Oh,
Ooh, he was
boy.
on here
Oh,
earlier.
Jordan
People
saw him.
are
I hope you
"Nope,
didn't
he was
leave."
here."
Oh, man.
Oh no, Bryant,
Oh,
did you
no.
leave? Oh man.
What do we got? Count me down. Count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Whoa!
Brian! Wow! Dang, that was like, look at that. Whoop, whoop. Bryant won $300.
Oh, yeah.
Luke
yeah.
will be sending that over to you.
Yes, Luke.
Dang. See, that's all you got to do. You got to just show up. You show up, you listen, you learn. Again, getting all this information that we get to sift through. Learned about your risk reversal.
We had 2 other names,
Ooh.
and nobody will ever know who they were. Man, oh man. We had 2 other names. And I think there might have been a shot.
James on the first try.
There might have
Leave
been
it
a
to
shot.
James. Get him right in there. I love it. Everybody likes the sound effects too. All right, so that's it for this week of Money Mondays. Make sure you really think through your risk reversal. If you're in BDC and you need a little help with this, we really encourage you to post this into the group so we can help develop it. You can give other people ideas, and maybe you guys can mastermind on it a little bit if you're wondering.
Everybody's saying, James, I saw the second name on the video.
James.
Oh, they're probably
man.
texting. So he's showing as a guy. He's showing up now. Like, what happened? What happened? What happened?
I will
Did they call my
say
name?
is all of you out there, you are lucky. These names have not repeated themselves the last couple weeks. So far.
No repeats.
No repeats on draws.
We're committed. Listen, you guys are killing us here by being on, but we love it.
I know.
Because
we love it.
if you don't win, then we only have to add 100. If you do win, we got to add another 300. But that's cool. We love giving away $300 every week on here. And what the best part is we just Venmo you. It's not something we just send you the money. Unless you're Amy Spolster. She didn't want the money. She was just like, keep it. I'm sure I'm going to buy some more stuff from you later on. But it's been so great. We just send you the cash. We love to share, give back for you.
Maybe you can use it to bless somebody else. That's what I really hope.
That's the whole thing too.
$300 you didn't have.
Well, I got a couple comments when we were talking about risk reversal. Here's the thing. I want everybody to know, BDC or not, I want everybody to know. Black Diamond Club is a swipe and deploy community. And what that means is we literally are giving you our best stuff. We're teaching you like what we're doing. We're doing it. Like what we're telling you, we're doing it right now. Like if you haven't figured that out, that's one of the trippiest things about coming to a sales workshop is that we sell you while we teach you how to sell exactly how we're selling you at the same time. And it's so powerful. You can't stop it. Sorry. We don't have another one of those until 2023, but we are actually telling you do this. Here's the last thing though. In any swipe and deploy community, we always ask you, please give credit where credit's due. So like, don't show up in your group and be like, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm going to teach you how to do this fantastic thing that I invented when you didn't really invent it. Tell them to tune in on Money Mondays. There's no shame in telling them I'm watching this. And now I'm taking what these fools are doing and I'm applying it to your world, to the plumber's world, to the HVAC world, to the solar world, to the mechanics world, to the massage world. It doesn't matter if you have a community, please utilize this stuff. Build your community. We're giving away $300 every week. We're getting tons of people to jump on. The community's getting stronger. You guys are commenting, supporting each other. It is the coolest thing. And that's the last thing before we go. I just want to, you said this earlier. I want to make sure that all of you understand the gratitude that Lacey and I have to each and every one of you for showing up every week, tuning in, and also for spreading and sharing this message, letting people know that we are committed to you. And not just you, but any one of yous that want to show up, we want to make sure we're doing this free of charge every Monday until we feel like we've gotten through this, whatever this is. Money Mondays, Lacey and I are showing up doing this free of charge. Everybody says we're all about the money. Well, make sure you remind them. We're about Money Monday. Make sure you remind them how much stuff we put out there to the world absolutely free because we care.
Yes.
How much money we give away because we care. How many cool things we give because we care. But don't just say that for us because I already told you I don't care if people think we care or not. But swipe and deploy. Take this opportunity to figure out this week how you're going to bless other people, whether they're your clients or not.
Right.
Take the time this week to figure out how you're going to implement risk reversal for the people. This is not a system-wide application for the people that need it. You need to develop some sort of a program that will help those people get off the sideline by lowering or removing the barrier so that they can jump in with you. They deserve to have that opportunity. They didn't cause the recession. They didn't cause the gas prices. They are now victims of what is happening. And maybe they earlier wanted to get your services. They wanted to do business with you, and now they can't because of circumstances beyond their control. What we're actually saying right here is it's your duty to figure out a way to the best of your ability to control those circumstances, to solve those problems, even though that you might not be a financial advisor or might not be the president of the World Bank, you must, to the best of your ability, solve those circumstances for the people that you were put on this planet to serve. That's all I got. Love seeing all of you guys jumping on here. Hope everybody has a fantastic night.
Happy Monday.